Welcome to week 1 of Social and Political Theory. In this week's recorded lecture, I will start to explain how we should think about theory and its value, giving a sense of the kind of theoretical terrain we will be exploring in the course. So, what is theory? I'm using social theory as synonymous with sociological theory, and largely draw on that discipline, on the discipline of sociology, to explain the concepts with which we will analyse social theory in this policy. So Gurmov, from 2011, notes that sociology can be usefully described as the study of the relationship between the individual and society, investigating how human thought, action, and interaction shape and are shaped by society. So there is a common perception out there that theory is somehow removed from experience, as though theory goes on in a specialised space, removed from the actuality of lived experience. So rather than something that can be used in an everyday space, theory seems to be commonly understood as something external to lived reality. This course aims to counter that idea. It aims to familiarise you with theory, to equip you to use theory, and to let you realise that theorists are dealing with practical problems. Theorists are trying to come up with ways of understanding reality. So we want to shift from the idea that theory is something out there to instead seeing it as a way of dealing with practical problems. In this course, practical problems such as those that are addressed by social policy. Theory, then, is generally a contribution to what we should do in the face of pressing social problems. It provides aspects of answers to the question of what to do in a particular situation. What is the correct response, or rather, what is the correct response from a particular point of view? Different worldviews and ethical viewpoints or theoretical standpoints give different ways of understanding social and political responses to issues. In this course, we will look at a range of the different kinds of theory that you will find underlie worldviews influencing policy. Now, as you will see if you look through the accompanying PowerPoint slides that go with this lecture, we will be using a range or a spectrum of theories that range from the structuralist to the agentic. This will allow you to decide how you want to approach theory. How will you make use of particular skills and theoretical knowledge? So theory is useful. Michael Zinzin, the American civil rights activist, talks about how theory is a useful and necessary tool for working out what's actually going on. Theory lets us step back from the problem, which can be really useful. People see a baby in the river, for instance. People have a saviour complex. They want to jump in and save the baby. Zinzin says this is fine for them. But we want to know who is throwing the goddamn babies in the river in the first place. Of course, theory needs to be used strategically. We need to choose the best theory for throwing light on a particular issue. Theory applied clumsily, chunkily, top-down, without thought for the subtleties and nuances of the issue, does not add depth. A metaphor used by Robert Nozick compares theory badly applied to trying to stuff a reality into a frame or a box. It bulges out on one side, so you go around and try and shove it in again, overcompensating with sticky tape that then makes it burst out again on the other side. Theory, properly used, should be more like a kaleidoscope lens, or different gels on a spotlight, different colours revealing different aspects of reality. If we turn up the blue filter, or say a gendered perspective, then we can see an angle that was obscured when we looked at it from simply a class or an economic perspective. The sociological imagination, a term coined by Charles Wright Mills, describes exactly this application of a different understanding of society, this application of a different lens to seeing social issues. By shifting our awareness of the historical, cultural, biographical and social structure of arrangements within social patterns, we can see different aspects of the issue. So whether we use the metaphor of a kaleidoscope or an elephant or a camera, the point is to look at different social issues from different angles, while also realising that no one theory or viewpoint or lens will give the whole picture. Social theory, like social policy itself, is always reductionist. In this course, the idea is to look at a range of these social theories, to investigate them for what they can tell us about social problems, and the social policies that have been developed to address them, or more accurately, to address the aspect of them revealed by the lens that the policymaker has conceived them through. And so we will look at agentic and structuralist theories and theories that fall somewhere in the middle. In the assessments, we will look at how these understandings of the world have influenced representations of issues in the media, by identifying the viewpoint from which a recent issue has been described, and showing how a different theoretical framing would have produced a different story, grasping a different part of the elephant, if you will. Then we'll do it again a month later with a different news story. This is to get you comfortable with identifying and applying theory. The final assessment is similar, but this time you get to analyse a social problem and its policy approach, and then apply a different lens to show how the issue might have been differently or even better addressed. Overall, the course will aim to familiarise you with using theory, both in identifying where it's been used and in using it yourself to show different aspects of an issue.